Would not leave me alone.
Is he frozen,
Oh,
Colin?
he's frozen. Yep, he's frozen.
I'm going.
Not anymore, though.
I'm gonna punch him a bunch of times. It worked.
Hey, awesome friends. I am Awesome Danny, and today I want to tell you about my experience with the EPZ G10. And this is going to be focused mostly on gaming because that's what I ended up using these for the most. Spoiler alert, they're really good, and they will be in my sub 100 gaming approved IM list. So I do want to thank EPZ for sending these out for review after I paid for them. Yes, I bought this set by accident. They were going to send it out for review when I placed the order. I accidentally paid for it, so they sent these out, and they also sent out their older brother, the Q5, which is really good as well, and I'll be reviewing that later. But for now, back to the G10. So when I purchased these, they were, I think, $29. I've never seen them at their full list price, which is, I think, like 55 bucks. I always see them under $40. I think right now they're like $35. So if you do end up interested in these and see them under like 40 bucks, just go for it, or wait until they go closer to 30 if you're not in a hurry. So what do you get in the box with your purchase? You actually get a lot of stuff. This is going to be my recommendation for one-time purchase kind of deal. You get everything you need right out of the box. So if you buy these for gaming, they're going to have everything you need to just open the box and get started, which is great. So they have 2 sets of silicone ear tips, small, medium, large in each one. So that's 6 pairs. They're both pretty good. One of them is a double flange style, and then the other one is the just usual shape. I preferred the clear ear tips with the green stem. They just fit a little better, sealed a little better, and they're a little firmer, which I actually like when the ear tips are still comfortable even though they're firm. Just feels like more secure. They come with a cable, which is what you expect around this price range. The cable is pretty thin. It's actually soft, and the ear hooks are very comfortable. That's another thing about the set. It's like super comfortable. You can wear it all day, no fatigue whatsoever. So cable's soft, it's really thin and light, and it actually has an included microphone in the cable. You are now listening to the microphone on the G10 included cable. Let me know what you think. Cable is very light, very comfortable. Mic sits on my chest. Not sure if you can hear any rustling when I move back and forth. Again, this is the microphone on the G10. So again, that's something that you can just hook up if you're going to be needing basically a headset, or if you use a headset right now that has a microphone attached, you're not going to be out of a mic. If you have, your standalone separate microphone, then that's not going to matter, but you still have it as an option, which is nice. And also in case you go mobile with it. So if you want to take it and use it as a music listening device and then take phone calls with it, you have that option too. They're great. It also comes with a splitter. So if you're going to be plugging in directly into your PC and you need a splitter, it's in the box. You'll be able to split it into the microphone and headphone outputs. And there's also another thing other than the IMs themselves, which really nice smaller shell. It's on the smaller end. They're very smooth and ergonomic, light. They fit amazing. They're great. But along with the IMs themselves and everything else, you actually get this, a little UV light on a keychain, and that was really cool that they actually included this. But the shells themselves glow in the dark, which is actually kind of cool. I mean, you're not going to be able to see them when you're wearing them, obviously, but if anybody comes around, they're going to see how hardcore of a gamer you are. Pretty cool. All right, so going over into the sound breakdown. So we're going to go over just quickly about how they sound in general. So sub bass is pretty neutral, well extended, nothing too boosted, just a good amount. Sub bass rumble is there. but it's not overpowering. So in bassy songs or songs with a lot of sub bass, you're gonna still get the feeling of that rumble, but in some other tracks it might come off as a little lighter than you're used to, especially if you're used to, you know, the usual gaming headphones or headsets that are usually bass heavy. Mid bass is a little light as well. Again, same as a sub bass, you're still gonna get the impact, especially if it's music that has it very present, but in some other stuff it might feel lighter than normal. Overall, I think it's probably a lighter bass set than most people would probably like or are used to. They were okay for me. I enjoy less bass usually in my sets. Mids sound correct, pretty neutral, just linear. Then once you get past the mids and start creeping up into the upper mids, there's a good rise there, and into the mid treble. It feels a little bit intense, probably more intense than some people are used to. It follows the Harman 2019 target pretty closely there, so can be sibilant in some tracks, maybe a little bit too sharp for some people, again depending on the music. For example, me with my K-pop, it does bring that high energy that I enjoy. In some stuff it might be a little bit sharp. Again, we're focusing mostly on gaming, but obviously a lot of people are going to use these for more than just gaming. And then getting past the mid treble, when you get into the air region, there's a good amount of it there. So stage actually feels pretty open and airy, which is something that really helped the gaming performance. Now getting into the gaming performance. Again, these are super comfortable. So I was able to wear them pretty much all day. The entire time I was gaming, these were on, fine. With the stock ear tips, I actually did try some other ear tips as well, but stock ones are fine. If you want something that's a little bit more comfortable, you can look into some other third-party ear tips. But again, right out of the box, you get everything you need here. As I mentioned before, since the stage is open and airy, it gives that, you know, good sense of size and depth. It's not huge, but it is bigger than most IEMs. Imaging and separation is actually decent as well, so you get a good sense of where your enemies are. You can track their footsteps a little bit better. There is good amount of clarity here because of the treble, and so the details are pretty crisp, and the driver itself is capable as well. So when things get hectic and stuff gets a little crazy, it doesn't get overwhelmed easy, so you're still able to, you know, keep track of other audio cues during the fights. But again, also going back into that high intensity in the treble and upper mids, they might be a little fatiguing, especially after a while, you know, non-stop gunshots or stuff like that. So do keep that in mind. If you need to take a break, take a break. If that's something that you might be sensitive to, then maybe try foam ear tips to help tame those down. And also, since the mid bass and the bass in general is a little lighter, I believe that helps with the clarity, so it doesn't trip over itself as much when things get chaotic. All right, so now for a comparison, I'm going to compare them to my favorite budget set, the SimGuy EW200. So overall, these are actually very similar. Tuning wise, they're very close, just maybe a little bit more note weight, a little bit more thickness in the lower mids and mid bass on the EW200. Obviously it has a metal shell. Some people like that premium feel. The cable is nicer on the EW200 as well, but it does not have a mic. That's one thing to consider here. If you buy the G10, it's going to be roughly $10–12 cheaper depending on the sale, and you don't have to buy anything else. You have a good amount of ear tips. I don't like the ear tips on the EW200. The cable is nicer on the EW200, but no mic, so you would have to have a standalone mic or buy a separate cable that has a mic included. Also, the fit is better on the G10. It's just lighter, smaller, fits really nicely. EW200, it's just a little bit heavier because it is a metal shell. And also there's an issue I have, which depending on the way that I put them on, it blocks a little vent that's on the nozzle, and I get driver flex, which is annoying. I hate that. It doesn't hurt the driver and it shouldn't hurt your ears, but it's just annoying to hear that crinkle, you know, every time you move them, adjust them, or put them on. I don't like that. So just accessory wise, what you get in the box and the build, without taking sound into consideration, G10 is a clear winner here. You get the microphone, a lot more ear tips, more comfortable build. But now comparing the performance, sound, which a lot of you guys, that is the only important point here. So G10 has a little bit bigger of a soundstage than the EW. EW is just a little bit closed off, not a lot. These guys are actually very, very close. EW 200 has a little bit more mid bass, so it sounds a little bit thicker and has more substance and body to the audio cues, and you know, like footsteps or gunshots just sound a little bit fuller, but it does make it sound a little bit more congested in hectic fights or when things get a little crazy. Again, these are very, very close, so they trade blows in a lot of different aspects. Imaging is pretty close again as well, with the EW 200 having just a little bit more resolution. The sounds are just a bit more defined and sound a little bit clear, just a little bit. Honestly, performance wise, these guys are so close, you can go with either one and do just about the same. EW 200 might just be a little bit better for music since it has a little bit more body, and also immersive gaming. Anything that's immersive, such as watching TV shows or watching a movie, or immersive gaming, is probably going to be better on the EW 200. While the G10, I personally prefer more for shooters or any type of PvP. So that's it. EPZ G10, a great budget pick, probably one of the best options you have for under $100, at least as far as I've come across. If you want a gaming IM, if you want to, you know, go down that road and try one of them out, I suggest you buy something cheap first to see if they're for you. It took me a while, you know, to make the transition, but I basically use IMs exclusively now for any type of gaming. If it's something that interests you, I will leave a link in the description box below. So anyways, that's it for me. I'm Awesome Danny. Until next time, you stay awesome, friends. Bye.